Hi, my name is Madeline Lee, and I'm a PhD candidate at the AI for Retail Lab in Delft, where I work on a team that researches novel solutions in robotics with the goal of creating a robot that can move dynamically and safely through a grocery store with workers and customers. Now, my training is actually not in robotics, it's in philosophy. And my role on the team is twofold: to research the social and ethical aspects of using retail robots, and then to take those insights into the lab and collaborate in the design process with the intention of creating a robot that aligns with our ethical values, or at least doesn't violate them. Now, in the next minutes, I'm going to focus on just one aspect that requires ethical attention when we're thinking about retail robotics, namely interactions between robots and workers. In this video lesson, I'll outline the current discussions in the academic literature. I'm going to highlight the gaps in these conversations, and then I'm going to point towards directions ethical research should go from here. Now, before moving on, a reminder may be needed as to why this research is so important. Retail settings are changing and relying more and more on robotics. Amazon already has 200,000 in their distribution centers. Walmart has 1,000, will have 1,000 by the end of the year in their stores. Ahold Delhaize uses 500 in stores in North America already. There's projections that we'll have 150,000 robots in stores by 2026. But the World Economic Forum reports that there's a huge increase in investments in robotics since the beginning of COVID-19. So that number, 150,000, may be much higher. Now, the robots in use and development are no longer behind barriers, but they work alongside humans closely, dynamically, and collaboratively. Considering that the retail sector is one of the top employers in North America and Europe, and that shoppers still rely on brick and mortar stores, there really has to be social, ethical research because so many people are going to be in close proximity with these robots in the very near future. Now, the truth is, there really isn't a lot of formal research that focuses on ethics of retail robots. So to get a sense of what these issues might be, I worked with Amy Van Weinsberg and Sabina Rosser to look into research on collaborative industrial robots that research that focuses on observed and speculated effects of increased human-robot interaction in the workplace. Now, the main themes that came up again and again were, of course, one, job loss and the reorganization of labor. This really continues to dominate the ethics conversations. There's also a mention of the potential psychological harm of asking employees to work in close proximity with robots when robots for so long were deemed unsafe and dangerous for decades. There was a concern about the ability to effectively obtain workers' informed consent for any of the data that might be collected. And there was also some concern over an over-reliance on algorithmic decision-making, leading to the diminishment of the diminished value of human insights and ideas. And then lastly, we saw a lot in the literature. There was a push to see more user involvement in the design process and a push to see development of more inclusive designs. While we found that these wide-ranging issues were a useful starting point for discussion, the list needs to expand and become more nuanced, especially as robotic technologies themselves are advancing. The ethics, we argue, needs to evolve with the technology and its application. So we introduced some new ethical aspects to think about, drawing on literature from disciplines that address technologies with similar or overlapping technical capabilities, and also from media articles that highlight the voices of workers who have experienced collaborating with robots in retail settings firsthand. Now, first, we add to the ethical list we wanted to add to the notion of psychological harm by highlighting the importance of the emotional impact on workers. Of course, there may be positive emotional impact, but also collaborating with a robot may negatively affect a person's quality of work because she feels as though she's working alongside her replacement, eliciting a range of emotions from anger or fear. All of this can, of course, negatively impact a person's well-being at work. So emotions, we argue, are important to consider when we're deploying robots in retail. Second, if the robot contributes to performance monitoring, there may be a sort of chilling effect where workers' freedoms to move, speak, and make certain decisions are stunted for fear of negatively skewing their performance data and risking their job. In order to maintain a relationship of trust, any performance monitoring should be done when there is transparency, there's consent, and there's a clear goal. And third, we add to this ethical list, when robots delegate tasks and take on more decision-making in the workplace, there exists a sort of new asymmetry in power, one that differs from the traditional manager and employee relationship. Now, unlike a human, when given a task by a robot collaborator, it can be difficult or even dangerous to ask for more information or to challenge the choice in real time. Further, if there's a lack of transparency or explainability in the algorithms, then challenging decisions may actually be near impossible, thereby obscuring accountability or responsibility if something goes wrong. Now, these issues may sound far removed from the robots that are doing something boring, like restocking or scanning shelves. But across North America and Europe, workers have already begun to voice this sort of immense pressure of having to compete with the robotic counterparts. And customers discuss online a feeling of nervousness, or they find the robots creepy that exist in stores. These concerns from customers and workers need to be taken up by researchers. Now, providing a bleak list of potential problems is not very helpful, I'll admit. And that's because it's just this preliminary step to get into the ethical design process. The next steps require collaborative effort between ethicists and engineers to see the ways technical decisions and then design choices might prevent infringement on workers' well-being and freedoms, and even come to promote a sense of well-being as robots join the workforce. Thank you.